Hi, I'm Carol Thielen. Before we get started on our last block of 2023, I wanted to take a few moments to tell you how thankful I am for all of you and all of your support. Your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, just watching the videos and clicking on links for products and buying me coffees. It's just overwhelming for me, the response I've gotten, and I'm so grateful for it. And I appreciate every one of you. I wanted to share with you some of my goals and plans for next year. I've already told you one of my personal goals is to use up my enormous amount of scraps. I'm going to do a lot of scrap quilts, but some regular quilts too. And as usual, all the instructions will be free and downloadable. The other thing I wanted to concentrate on was teaching techniques, because there's so many new quilters out there, and maybe they don't have access to classes or for whatever reason, but I feel I can do that, and it's my pleasure to do that for you. The question I get most often is actually a two-part question. The first question is, how many blocks do I need for a queen-size quilt or for whatever size quilt? And that's quickly followed by, and how much fabric do I need to make that quilt? Starting on January 9th, I'll be posting weekly mini workshops that show you how you can find the answers to those two questions for yourself. And for any type of quilt you want to make, how you can find out how many blocks you need, and from that you can figure out how much fabric you need. So I'm looking forward to that. And best of all, there's hardly no math involved in it, so I think you'll really like it. The other question that I get asked a lot is, what do you do with all of the blocks you make and all the quilt tops you make? My family is a very large Italian family, and everyone in my family has 4 or 5 quilts. So they don't need any more quilts, and I don't need any more quilts. So all my quilts, the tops, and the blocks are all donated to 3 or 4 of the local groups in the area that do community service work. One group focuses on cancer patients going through chemo. The local guild focuses on the needs of hospice patients and their families, pregnancy centers, and foster children, and something that's near and dear to my heart, quilts for veterans. So I give to them to give to whatever causes they need to go to. And the third one is a church who does a lot of mission work. And they do a lot of mission work in Central America, and they also do a lot of local work. They take everything that you can give them, and they will make do with everything. They do something with everything I give them. I even save my little cutoffs and the little trimmings you do on blocks that you just normally would toss away in the garbage. And they use that to stuff pet beds for the local animal rescue center. So everything gets used, nothing goes to waste at all. I'm really looking forward to next year, to see what next year brings everyone. And I wish you all a happy and healthy and prosperous new year. So let's get started on the last block of Block of the Day for 2023. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos. This is a block that I've wanted to do for a long time. It's called Moda Love, and my version finishes at 24 inches. It's a free download from Moda Fabrics, and I have a code here you can click or scan to download their pattern. It was originally made for layer cake, so it was a much bigger quilt. But it's just squares and half square triangles, and you can make them any size you like. I've made mine 3 inches, finished. There are 2 patches. Patch A is a 3-inch finished square. We cut 3.5-inch squares, and here are the number of patches you need for each of the different fabrics. Here's the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this shape. And patch B is a 3-inch finished half square triangle. We cut 3 7/8 inch squares, cut them in half once on the diagonal for 2 patches.
And here are the number of patches we need for each of the fabrics. And here is the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this shape. This is all of the individual fabrics and how to cut them. It might be hard to see on the picture, but I have an inner background and an outer background. First thing we're going to do is make all the half square triangles. And there are 5 different combinations of half square triangles. And you'll make 8 of these 2, and 8 of this one, 10 of this one, and 2 of this one. Here are all my patches cut. I use the AccuQuilt to cut mine. Here are the squares, and then these are the half square triangle patches. The first thing I'm going to do is look at the diagram and divide out all the half square triangles. If we look at these two, this has the outer background fabric, and we'll make 8 of each, of the blue and the red. So this is the outer background fabric, and I'll count out 8. And then another 8. And so then we have the red goes with 1 set, so we'll count out 8. And then the blue goes with this one. So we'll sew these half square triangles together. We'll have 8 of the blue and 8 of the red. And we'll do that for all of the other half square triangles. These 3 half square triangles down here use the inner background fabric. So we'll make 8 of the dark ones, 10 of the yellow, and 2 of the red. All of our 5 different stacks of half square triangles are made. Now we'll just sew them together. Here are our 5 stacks of half square triangles. What we're going to do next for step 2, actually for steps 2, 3, and 4, we're going to be making the individual units. Step 2, we'll make the center unit, and there's 1, and that is right here in the center. For step 3, we'll make the 4 corner units, and these are in the corner here. There's 4. And step 4, we'll make the 4 side units. These go here in the center, and this on this side, this, and that. So they're between the corner units. So step 1, we'll take 2 of these, and we're working with the inner background fabric, 2 of the yellow and 2 of the red. Piece them together like this. Piece these 2 together and these 2, press the seams, then sew the 2 rows together, and this is your center unit. Our center unit is done, so we'll put this to the side. If we look at step 3, which are the corner units, we have our squares coming in the picture now. So these are the blue outer background triangles. We'll put this like this, and let's add our outer background squares. There are 3 of them that go like this, and then the black square goes like this. 2 red squares go like this, and an inner background square goes here, and our other blue half square triangle goes here. So you see, this is the corner unit, so this is the outside corner over here. We have our outer background fabrics here. So this is along the outer edge of the block. This is the inner background fabric. Now we basically have a 9 patch here. It's 3 across and 3 down. So we'll sew the top row together, the middle row, and the bottom row. Press your seams, and then stitch your 3 rows together. You'll make 4 of these corner units. 4 corner units are done now, so we'll put those to the side with the center unit. Now we'll just look at step 4 and lay out the remaining blocks. This is the side unit, and we'll make 4 of these. It's actually a 2 by 3 grid. So we'll sew these 2 together, these 2, and these 2. Press the seams and then sew the 3 rows together. And we'll make 4 of these. Our side units are all done now. We're going to put the block together, and since this is such a big block, I'm just going to do half of it and show you how it goes together. So here we start with the center unit, and then we put a side unit this way. Corner unit goes this way, and another one over here. So here you can see the difference in the inner and outer background fabrics. These are the outer fabrics, and they go all along the outside edge. And then the inner fabrics are a little bit lighter than those. So what we'll do is, this is a row, so we'll sew this row together and press the seams. And the side units go here as well. So that is about 2/3 of it. And this is a row. We'll sew this row together. Then we'll sew these two together. And this row up here will repeat again down at the bottom. A side unit and 2 corner units. You have a very big 3x3 grid, so we're 3 units across and 3 units down. And now we'll just stitch the block together. Here's the block, part of it. Here's the rest of it. And I'll flip it over. Here's the back. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next year.